Charles, knowing that the war was lost, handed himself over to a Scottish force in mid-1646, ending the Civil War. Parliament negotiated with the Scottish to hand over Charles, which they did in 1647. Now that Parliament had Charles, surely they could enact the change they wanted, right? But no. The issue was that Charles was completely untrustworthy and would always take the first opportunity to undo the concessions he'd made. Furthermore, much of England was getting riotous due to the tax burden for funding the army. Parliament tried to disband the army, but the army, led by Sir Thomas Fairfax, said no, which was hard to argue with because guns. This reflects the fact that political society in England was becoming increasingly radical during this period. One of the most extreme groups were the Levellers, who wanted the army to throw out Parliament and create a democratic, i.e. level, society in which all freeborn men would be able to vote for accountable politicians. During his captivity, Charles had secretly made a compact with the Scottish called the Engagement, which meant that they would invade England and restore him with his old powers intact. Charles soon escaped, the Scottish invaded, and royalist rebellions broke out across the country, beginning the Second English Civil War. This war was a short one, and within a year the new model army had crushed the rebels and defeated the Scottish army at the Battle of Preston. Charles decided to return to the negotiating table, but the leadership of the new model army, known as the Grandees, weren't interested. They saw Charles as a lying tyrant whose actions had killed thousands needlessly, and that there would be no worthwhile settlement whilst he remained. In late 1648, some soldiers, commanded by Colonel Thomas Pride, stormed Parliament and removed anyone who disagreed with the Grandees in what is known as Pride's Purge. The Parliament that was left, known as the Rump Parliament, opted to put Charles on trial for high treason.